We begin our South Sea adventure with a quick tour of Auckland. Before heading off to the beautiful Bay of Islands, which were discovered by Captain Cook in 1769. At Papua, we received a traditional welcome at the Treaty House. Here we saw their traditional carvings and these fantastic war canoes that apparently would carry 80 warriors. Sailing away, we head for Norfolk Island, which is in the middle of nowhere. Amidst these beautifully tranquil tropical gardens, you could never imagine what a horrific place this was when it was a penal colony. Nature is gradually reclaiming the old jail buildings, which apparently were notorious for their cruelty. It's difficult to imagine how this beautiful tranquil island could have such a terrible history, although it later became home to the descendants of Fletcher Christian, who was a survivor of the mutiny of the Bounty. We carry on through tranquil seas, but ever aware of tropical storms lurking in the distance. We've now arrived at the French island of New Caledonia.
This is Orphanage Bay. And Orphanage Bay, because long time ago there was here an orphanage that welcomed orphan girls who came from France to get married to the convicts at the end of their sentences. Very lucky girls. Yes, very lucky girls.
This is the flightless Kagu bird, who only lives on the island of New Caledonia. So important to them is he, that his song is recorded and played every night on the island television station at close down. When he's aroused, he brings up a strange plumage on top of his head. We now launch our Zodiacs to go ashore on the island of Tanna that has a live volcano. We were made very welcome by the reception committee before being loaded into some very uncomfortable pickup trucks. The bumpy ride up to the volcano took about 40 minutes, and I must say we were very glad when we arrived. Tanna was first visited in 1774 by Captain Cook aboard the HMS Resolution, and more recently by Kate Humble for a BBC television programme, and apparently the scene has hardly changed in the 300 years.
It's a long one. Yeah. It's about 1,300.
This huge crater on top of a 1,184-foot mountain erupts regularly. And hurls huge lumps of molten lava hundreds of feet into the air. A quite frightening experience, but well worth the long hike up to the crater. On the trip back down the mountain, we saw a celebration by the local cargo cult, who worship a mystical figure called John Froome, who apparently, if they pray hard enough, will bring them all the riches and things they always desired. On the way back to the ship, we saw these hot springs boiling water into the ocean.
It is, it's a hot springy.
Today we sail on to Vanuatu and visit the turtle sanctuary on Moso Island. Here someone has collected all the old flip-flops that have washed up on the shore and hung them in a tree, and appropriately named it the Tree of Lost Souls.
Sorry, you carry on.
Better days.
Yes.
The sanctuary pays the local lads to collect the baby turtles as soon as they've hatched from the various surrounding islands. They then keep them in tanks for up to a year. They then release them into the lagoon, where they stay for about another 5 years until they're 1.5 meters across and weigh about 50 kilograms. When fully mature, they swim off into the ocean and don't return for about 25 years. When they come back to breed, amazingly, they return to the very beach on which they were born, not to the sanctuary where they were released, but the island and the very beach that they were originally hatched on.
Hello, you're very handsome.
We now move on to the island of Vanuatu. This was a huge American military base during the Second World War. I assume it was the American influence that's made them more commercialized, because they put on a dance and a display for us. This is the traditional kava preparation ceremony that turns this root into a narcotic drink that freezes your tongue and induces a state of total calm.
On the outside of
I think they win the rugby match. Yeah.
Next, the ladies perform the water dance, where they make these amazing noises simply by splashing the water. A nearby waterhole, aptly named the Blue Hole, was the perfect place to cool off.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Arriving in the Solomon Islands, we find they have even more bizarre dances and rituals. Their costumes would suggest that at some time they've been visited by Martians. Each of the Solomon Islands we visited seemed to compete for the more bizarre dance. Their improvised drums are fashioned from sewer soil pipes. The local taxi service obviously doesn't take dogs. I wouldn't mind betting they're brothers. These warm seas are home to bottlenose dolphins, who like to play along the bows of our ship. We have now reached Santa Ana in the Solomon Islands, where they play a bamboo glockenspiel, striking the notes with worn-out flip-flops. This rather erotic dance is accompanied by ladies playing conch shells. And in this sequence, the ladies are being harassed by invading mudmen. But the local warriors arrive in time to chase them off and save the day. It's terrible to think that these lovely friendly islanders suffered a horrendous cyclone just a few weeks after we left, and much of their islands have been destroyed. Next stop, the Solomon Island of Vanuatu, where we visit the market and see some children at play. Back on board, we catch sight of some more dolphins. We're chased by some fierce warriors in a war canoe. But actually, they're quite nice, friendly guys once you get to know them.
Really uneasy for us now.
been a wonderful trip, but it's now time to climb back aboard the Caledonian Sky and set sail for home.